Who doesn't like to watch some creepy or scary stuff before bed, huh? Maybe you decided to pour a drink, light one up, and check out what the crazy minds at Life's Biggest Questions are up to. For today's video, we decided to take a break from all those mind-bending, head-scratching, brain-hurting questions, and instead come at you with the top 10 scariest American mythic monsters in history. We've done videos on some of the monsters included on today's list, while others will be introduced to you guys for the very first time. Should be fun. Smash that like button and let's get right into this one because I'm feeling a little spicy. Kicking things off at number 10, the Snallygaster. What a lovely beast this thing was, eh? The tale of the Snallygaster is quite an interesting one, especially given that the production of moonshine was in full swing, despite prohibition also being in full swing. With all that in mind, the idea of hearing strange, loud noises out in the middle of the woods at night, well, I think it was bootleggers making some shine. And they likely played into the folklore of the Snallygaster to keep people away. Still, this monster was described as a half-bird, half-reptile beast with some certain features that are usually found in ghosts and demons. Over the course of years, its appearance did slightly differ, with some claiming it had this or that, but it seems all accounts of the Snallygaster have cited its razor-sharp teeth, metallic beak, and possibly tentacles. I know, gross. And like a starving hawk, the rumor went that this thing would swoop down when victims were least suspecting while staying silent. They never knew it was coming. By the time the Snallygaster grabbed you, well, it was too late, and of those that saw, it's believed the Snallygaster would drain the blood of its victims. Sounds delicious. On to number 9, Slenderman. One of the most recent to make our list, Slenderman will likely be scaring people all over the world for the next little while. I don't know if I meant to write scarring or scaring, but either way it works. The idea of an elongated white body, no-faced creature wearing a suit just really doesn't sit well with me. It shouldn't sit well with you either, and if it does, well, that says something. The story of the Slenderman, or folklore, which is pretty well known across the internet to be a fictional character, is still considered a mythic tale by many. Regardless, I felt he was warranted to be on this list, and with that out of the way, well, what's his story? Aside from consuming younglings, because that's the language I gotta use now on YouTube, it seems the horror of the Slenderman started on a thread in the forum Something Awful. And after posting 2 black and white photos of what appear to be students, presumably on a trip of sorts, creator Eric Nunnison added in a shadowy-like figure behind them. The 2 photos were captioned almost as if to be quotes from witnesses. The first read, I quote, "We didn't want to go. We didn't want to kill them. But its persistent silence and outstretched arms horrified and comforted us at the same time. 1983 photographer unknown presumed dead." The second quote under another image read, I quote, "One of 2 recovered photos from the Sterling City Library blaze, notable for being taken the day which 14 children vanished and for what is referred to as the Slenderman. Deformity cited as filmed effects by officials. Fire at library occurred 1 week later. Actual photograph confiscated as evidence. 1986 photographer Mary Thomas missing since June 13th, 1986. Now, given what the story of the Slenderman has inspired or pushed people to do, well, I'll let you guys research that for yourselves, but I'd say he belongs on this list. At number 8, we got the Chupacabra. What seemed to originally start in Puerto Rico in March of 1995, this alleged creature was believed to be responsible for the death of 8 goats, all of whom were drained of their blood and had 3 punctures in their chest. It seems there's a common theme with these monsters and draining blood. Could it be because we find that to be incredibly barbaric and we need blood to survive? Probably. Over the years, the Chupra, which is what I'll be calling this thing from now on, was described almost like a hairless dog. However, prior to the hairless dog sightings, the tale of the Chupra painted a different picture. A picture of an alien-looking monster standing about 4 or 5 feet tall with large beady eyes, spikes down its back, and long claws. It seems this story had much less validity than the hairless dog's one, as there were actually corpses of what some believed to be that of the Chupra. Turns out they were just dogs, coyotes, and raccoons who had mange, which leads to fur loss, irritation, and much more. This gives the animals a patchy-haired, raw skin look that to local farmers did not look like a regular coyote. And just because people have mistaken sick animals for the Chupacabra doesn't mean it is non-existent. It just means, like the others on here, we've yet to truly encounter one. Lucky number 7, my favorite, the skunk ape. We're also going to include Bigfoot on this one because although they were technically different, I want to say they're similar enough that I wouldn't want to make them 2 separate numbers. You see the things I do for you guys? You see how much I care about you guys that I don't gyp you on numbers like that? Back in 2000, Sarasota County, Florida, a woman snapped a photo of which some thought may have been Bigfoot. It's also because the skunk ape is just Florida's Bigfoot. Either way, in the photo you can see a large furry human, kinda, like it looks like that. It's got really sharp yellow teeth. Some refer to it as the swamp Sasquatch, being 6'6" and weighing around 450 pounds, while others thought it was all a big hoax. Some argued it was Bigfoot, which, as we know, is a big furry human looking thing, part man, part ape, standing well, depends who you ask, but it's tall. Obviously the skunk ape and Bigfoot do have a few differences, but it seems they're more or less one and the same, with the only major differences being that the skunk ape likes swamps and Bigfoot likes forests. Skunk ape is also just a Florida native, where Bigfoot apparently is seen all over the world. Mostly America. Only in America! America! Fuck yeah! At number 6, the hodag. Taking us to Wisconsin, this very odd looking thing is, well, it's just that. It's really weird. But like most of the monsters on this list, rather than resembling one animal, it's a mix of things that, well, they just shouldn't be mixed. Describe it as having the head of a frog, almost a dragon-like face with horns, sharp looking teeth, a very muscular yet small frame, huge claws, and spikes down its back like a dinosaur. I don't know what you've imagined in your head, but it's probably not what I described. Because who could even picture that? Either way, a man named Eugene Shepard was behind the capture of the first hodag, which he and a handful of others killed using dynamite. Shepard was able to capture a second hodag, alive this time, or so he said, fooling all those who would pay the 10-cent admission to see the beast. With strings attached to whatever animal he likely killed, an already torn wardrobe which he would change into only after going into the shed to get the hodag for the audience, and his kids making noise would soon be exposed for the hoax that it was. After the story caught national attention and scientists from the Smithsonian Institute trekked down to be disappointed. But someone had to have thought of the beast somehow, right? So maybe they did see something and then put on this whole fake show for everybody and then eventually got exposed. But maybe it was real. It was inspired somehow. Halfway at number 5, the Boogeyman. Whether he was under your bed waiting for you to go to sleep, in your closet making sure you did what needed to be done, or simply a story you heard at your first campfire, we all know about the Boogeyman. One of the most notorious monsters, at least in North American culture, I'd say it seems the idea of the Boogeyman truly depends on who you ask and where. Some describe him almost similar to that of the Scarecrow from the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy, while others have claimed the Boogeyman has one eye, razor-sharp teeth, and green skin. Some think it's just a shadowy figure without any real identifiable markings, while others have said it has glowing red eyes and melting teeth. Regardless of how someone were to describe the Boogeyman, it seems evident that all over the world the idea of a monster or demon or ghost who goes after bad children who don't listen to their parents has been used as a scare tactic for years. At number 4, we got the Wendigo. In the past, it was said cannibalism is what led to one becoming a Wendigo, and that is potentially one of the worst punishments one could have, as the Wendigo appears to be a mix of a human and a deer, standing very tall but incredibly frail. We're talking bones sticking out because it's so thin, frail. And given that this thing preys on humans, well, you wouldn't want to be out at night, because once this thing sets its eyes on you, it's game over. The worst of it is the Wendigo is always bloodthirsty and never satisfied, as it lives off of gluttony. Some have tried to rationalize stories of the Wendigo, citing it to be humans who have gone mad and resorted to cannibalism, but this thing definitely ain't human. And the only way to kill it, so they say, is to incinerate it. Light that bad boy on fire, which, alright, good luck with that. At number 3, the Pope Lick Monster. Truly included it because I just like the name, but the stories around this one are very eerie and weird. Often described as a goat man, where it has a similar physique to that of a man, standing on 2 legs, shoulders back, head up straight, but it physically resembles a goat as well. We're talking horns, the long face, and the body covered in fur. It's a goat man, what's the problem? The nickname Pope Lick Monster comes from where this thing apparently resides, beneath the tracks of a railroad bridge located in Pope Lick Creek, a small town in Louisville, Kentucky. Although no one has seen the monster, the unusual deaths of numerous locals and adventurers has led to the myth. Some claim that the Pope Lick Monster actually hypnotizes its victims, while other stories claim that its appearance scares anyone who lays their eyes on it, that they jump off the tracks, seeing it as their only option. One thing is certain, no one has seen the Pope Lick Monster or survived to tell the tale. At number 2, the Skinwalker. The legend or myth of the Skinwalker comes from the Native Americans, who believe the Skinwalker is a type of harmful witch who uses their abilities to disguise themselves as a harmful, deceitful animal. The legend of the Skinwalkers isn't too well known outside the Navajo people, as those who know about it are reluctant to share the tale with non-Navajos. From what we do know, it's believed the Skinwalkers are actually witches, the opposite of medicine men or women, who are seen as healers and doctors among their community. Traditional healers learn of the good and evil magic, with most having the ability to only use the good. However, some give in to the evil, thus becoming witches and having the ability to also be a skinwalker. Usually seen as a creature, but also associated with bad omens, skinwalkers can be men or women, and one thing is for sure, they're terrifying. And then at number 1, the Galro. Known mainly in Arkansas, or Arkansas as some people call it.
Why is this one Kansas, but this one is not Arkansas? America, explain!
The Goro may have been a story of creative journalism, but it seems the legend has lived on for years. Story goes, the businessman, William Miller, told a journalist of a horrible monster killing livestock and pets named the Goro. Its name came from the horrifying sounds it would make, and Miller was set on stopping this thing, so he made a team of men to take the beast down. they tracked down the Goro's cave, which apparently had the skeletal remains of numerous animals and some humans. As the crew waited to attack, the Goro approached from a nearby lake, causing an apparent earthquake. The group would defeat the beast, but not without a fight. One man apparently lost a leg, and as the Goro dropped, it took down several trees with it. Described as being 20 feet with 2 tusks, webbed feet with claws, short horns, and a long tail with a blade on the end of it, this appeared to be a myth similar to that of Godzilla. Williams claimed to have sent the body to the Smithsonian Institution, but it never arrived, which, that's a little strange, that's a little odd. Some think it was all a fake, while others say it wasn't one big monster, but instead a species of creatures which live in the area. We may never know. And there you guys have it for the top 10 scariest American mythic monsters in history. Let us know your thoughts on this one down below. For now, let's do some common replies from the video. WTF is up with UFOs and the Pentagon. AG said as long as they come from beneath the sea, the cosmos, another dimension, or the future and not present day humans, I'm good. Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty cool to legitimately, like, imagine if aliens were just time traveling humans. That's still cool, I think. Jeremiah Walton said there's gotta be more than just us. If it's just us, man, we are sucking. I hope it's not just us, because, you know, there's a lot of hope that there's other beings and species and intelligent civilizations out there that we could probably learn from. TDR9419 said they know a lot more than they're telling us. I agree. And that's become evident with what's happened in the last couple of years as well. Alright guys, that's all for this one. I've been your boy Pepper, and we'll see you soon.